Ever pondered upon the impact of a powerful speech? Why does public speaking hold such a significant place in our society? In our daily lives, we encounter numerous instances where the power of public speaking is on full display. Consider the stirring keynote at a conference that sparks new ideas, or the heartfelt wedding toast that brings tears to everyone's eyes. These are instances where a well-crafted and well-delivered speech can influence people's thoughts and actions. Public speaking is more than just talking before an audience. It's an art, a skill that, when honed, can inspire, motivate, and even change the course of lives. It's a tool for leaders, educators, motivators, and anyone who wishes to make a difference. Public speaking isn't merely about getting your point across. It's about connecting with your audience on a deeper level, engaging them, and making them see the world from your perspective. Mastering public speaking can open doors to countless opportunities and lead to personal and professional growth. Scene script. An essential yet often overlooked component of public speaking is the use of voice. But why does it matter so much? Picture this: you're at a conference, sitting in a sea of people. The speaker steps up to the microphone, starts speaking, and instantly you're drawn in. That's the magic of an effective voice. The role of voice in public speaking is like the role of a paintbrush in art. Just as an artist uses different brushes and strokes to evoke different emotions, a speaker uses their voice to engage, captivate, and influence the audience. Let's dive a bit deeper. First, tone. This is the emotional color or mood of your speech. A sincere tone can create an atmosphere of trust, while an enthusiastic tone can energize your audience. It's about hitting the right emotional note that aligns with your message. Next, we have pitch. This is the highness or lowness of your voice. A varied pitch helps maintain audience interest, while a monotone voice can send your listeners to snoozeville. By varying your pitch, you can emphasize key points and make your speech more dynamic. Then, there's volume. The loudness or softness of your voice can add emphasis and drama to your speech. Speaking louder can command attention, while speaking softer can draw your audience in. But remember, it's not about being the loudest in the room, it's about using volume strategically to highlight important points. Finally, pace. This is the speed at which you speak. A fast pace can convey excitement or urgency, while a slower pace can add gravity and importance. By varying your pace, you can control the rhythm of your speech and keep your audience on their toes. Mastering these elements of voice can transform your public speaking. They're like the spices in a dish, adding flavor and depth to your words. They can make your message more memorable, more persuasive, and more impactful. A well-modulated voice can help you connect better with your audience and make your speech more impactful. So, how can one master the art of using voice in public speaking? Here are some practical techniques. Firstly, let's talk about breath control. This is the cornerstone of voice modulation. Think of your voice as a wind instrument. The air you breathe in is the fuel that powers your words. By learning to control your breath, you can control the volume, pitch, and tone of your voice. Start by practicing deep abdominal breathing. This technique allows you to take in more air and gives your voice more power and stability. Next, we have pitch. The pitch of your voice can greatly influence the way your message is perceived. A higher pitch can convey excitement or urgency, while a lower pitch can suggest seriousness or authority. To improve your control over pitch, practice speaking in different pitches. Read a passage out loud, first in a high pitch, then medium, then low. This will help you become more comfortable with varying your pitch and will enhance your vocal range. Lastly, pace is an important aspect of voice modulation. The speed at which you speak can affect the clarity of your message and the audience's ability to follow along. Speaking too fast may leave your audience behind, while speaking too slow can cause them to lose interest. Aim to maintain a moderate pace and vary it to emphasize certain points. Practice reading a speech or presentation at different speeds to find what feels most comfortable and effective for you. It's also important to add pauses into your speech. Pauses can give your audience time to absorb what you've just said, and they can also be used for dramatic effect. In conclusion, to master the art of using voice in public speaking, one needs to focus on breath control, pitch, and pace. These techniques may seem simple, but they require practice to perfect. Remember, practice makes perfect. Regularly practicing these techniques will help you become a more effective speaker. While mastering the art of using voice, one might stumble upon certain pitfalls. Let's uncover some common mistakes to avoid. Firstly, the speed of your speech matters. When nerves kick in, or when there's a lot to say, it's easy to find ourselves speaking at a pace faster than the Starship Enterprise at warp speed. But remember, Your audience needs time to absorb your words, your ideas. Chasing the clock might leave your listeners lost in space. To avoid this, practice speaking slowly during your rehearsals. Try incorporating pauses after key points, allowing your words to marinate in the minds of your audience. Next, let's talk about tone. Speaking in a monotone voice is like serving a feast without any flavors. It's bland and uninteresting. Your voice is a powerful tool to convey emotions and emphasize points. If you're excited, let your voice show it. If you're discussing a serious matter, your tone should reflect that gravity. Practice varying your tone according to the message you're delivering. It's like seasoning your speech to perfection. Finally, the effective use of pauses. Pauses are not just awkward silences to be avoided. They are the breathers, the dramatic effect, the suspense builders. They give your audience a moment to reflect on what you've just said, but misuse of pauses can disrupt the flow of your speech, making it feel disjointed. So it's crucial to find the right balance. Practice incorporating pauses naturally into your speech as you would in a conversation. Remember, public speaking is an art, and like any art, it requires practice to perfect. Be mindful of the pace of your speech, vary your tone to keep it engaging, and use pauses effectively to let your words sink in. Avoiding these common pitfalls will help you deliver a more engaging and impactful speech. So what happens when you master the use of voice in public speaking? Let's dive into the sea of possibilities. Imagine a world where your words have the power to captivate, inspire, and move your audience. This is the world of effective voice use in public speaking. When you master the art of using your voice, you unlock a treasure chest of benefits. First off, you enhance audience engagement. We've all been there, sitting through a presentation with a monotone speaker, struggling to keep our eyes open. But when a speaker uses their voice effectively, every word, every phrase becomes a hook that reels the audience in. It's like watching a thrilling movie or reading a gripping novel. You just can't look away. Next up, making your speech more memorable. Think back to a speech that still resonates with you. Chances are it wasn't just the content that stuck, but how it was delivered. A well-modulated voice with its rhythm and melody can turn a simple speech into a symphony. It's like the difference between reading a string of notes and listening to a beautiful song. The latter is bound to stick in your mind for far longer. Lastly, effective voice use can boost your credibility. People are more likely to believe and trust in what you're saying if you say it with conviction. The right tone, pitch, and volume can convey confidence and authority, making you a more convincing speaker. It's like wearing a well-tailored suit to a business meeting. It adds to your persona and makes you stand out. In essence, mastering the use of voice in public speaking is like acquiring a superpower. It helps you connect with your audience on a deeper level, makes your message unforgettable, and elevates your persona. But remember, like any superpower, it needs to be used wisely and responsibly. Mastering the use of voice in public speaking can truly set you apart and help you make a lasting impact. Today, we've journeyed through the art of using voice in effective public speaking. We began by recognizing the power of public speaking, how it can influence, inspire, and ignite change. We then delved into the art of using voice, understanding how it's not only about what we say but also how we say it. Our journey took us further into the techniques for effective voice modulation. We explored the importance of pitch, pace, and pause and how these can dramatically alter the impact of our words. We also highlighted some common pitfalls to avoid, such as monotony and lack of emotion, which can disconnect us from our audience. We wrapped up by discussing the impact of effective voice use, emphasizing that a well-modulated voice can captivate an audience, making your message more memorable and impactful. Remember, your voice is a powerful tool. Use it wisely and you can move mountains with your words.